This is Amar from SSLtrust.com Australia, and in this video I am going to be showing you how to install an SSL certificate on your OpenVPN server. So let's begin. So this is the OpenVPN Access Server client portal. I have pointed my domain name to my server, and as you can see, it is not yet secure, and we're going to make sure it is. And this is the admin portal for OpenVPN, which is also not yet secure. Now the first step in this process is to generate a private key and a certificate sign-in request or CSR. For that, I'm on the SSL Trust homepage, and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the page and navigate to CSR Generator under Online Tools. So basically, a CSR or a certificate sign-in request is nothing but a request initiated by you, the client, to the certificate authority, which contains all the necessary information such as the domain name and any business details which are stored in hashed form. On the technical side, it also contains the public key, which will be signed by the certificate authority and returned to you in the issued SSL certificate. So now scroll down, and these are the default settings. I'm not going to change them unless you want to. Type in your domain name here, the name of your organization. If you don't have a registered business, just type in the name of your website. Your city, state, and country. Click on Generate CSR and Private Key. Now I'm going to download the private key and the CSR. It is recommended that you store them safely on your computer in case you want to redo the configuration at some other point or later. Now that we have our private key and our certificate sign-in request, we can move on to the second step of this tutorial, which is to purchase our SSL certificate. So I am here on the SSL Trust homepage, and now if you have already purchased an SSL certificate, you can skip this step, but otherwise you can go to products and just go with a standard domain validated SSL certificate. Since this is a demo video, I'm going to go with the Sective SSL. You can scroll down and look at the features and what it offers, and then click on Add to Cart after choosing your duration. Then click on Checkout. Fill in your billing details, choose your preferred method of payment, and then click on Complete Order. Once you do that, you can head back to the SSL Trust dashboard, and here you'll see your purchased SSL certificate. So you can select this, and then we can click on Start Certificate Configuration, or you can provide the following URL to the person to complete the configuration for you. Now I'm going to open my CSR, copy it from the very start to the very end, including all the hyphens, paste, and verify CSR. So if these details look just as you inputted them, then we're good to go. Server type, you can select Other, and then click on Next Step. Now fill in your contact details. If you have a technical individual doing this for you, you can enter their details here. Otherwise, you can use admin contact. Click on next step. So now comes an important part of the process, which is domain control validation. So basically in this step, you have to prove to the issuing certificate authority, which in this case is Sectical, that you own your domain name and have complete access to it. Now, this can be done in one of three methods. The first is the email method. Now you should have one of these 5 email addresses at yourdomainname.com, on which you will be sent an email which will contain a link which, when you click on, should validate your domain name, and then you can submit the configuration. Otherwise, the second validation method is the HTTP file method. Now in this method, you need to create a text file with this exact name, and you have to store it at this path. Now, if these directories are not already there, you can create them on your server. And in this file, you need to copy and paste this. Once you do that, and the file is live on your server, you can click on check file, and then click on submit configuration, which should validate your domain name. Now the third method, or what we're going to use, is the CNAME record validation method. Now in this method, you need access to your DNS settings with either your domain name provider or your hosting provider, depending on where you have pointed your name service to. So I'm going to copy the CNAME record and then navigate to my DNS settings, add new record, type CNAME, and paste it in the host box, followed by the CNAME value, copy and paste it in the points to dialog box, and then click on save. Head back to the configuration window and click on the check DNS record button right here, and then click on search. Now this process of DNS propagation might take from a few minutes up to a few hours, depending on your DNS service propagation speed. So just keep coming back here and you can keep checking your status. For now, I'm going to submit the configuration. As you can see, our configuration was a success. This is our order number, and our status is that we are awaiting validation. Click here to access the validation manager. And as you can see, our domain control validation is already complete, since we have used this domain name before also to install the same SSL certificate. So for me it was quick, but for you might not be so. Open this drop down menu, select your method of validation, and then click on resubmit to refresh things on Sectigo's end and get you your certificate faster. And if you can't find the validation manager, you can head back to the SSL Trust dashboard, select your purchased SSL certificate, and then there would be a button here called Access Validation Manager, which you can use to get your SSL certificate. Now that we have our SSL certificate, you can click on Collect or Download Certificate button. Okay, so you can see your SSL certificate files here. So now we can move on to install our SSL certificate on our OpenVPN server. We just need to download the files and upload them to our server. So I am going to navigate to the OpenVPN admin portal, and then on the left menu you can click on configuration and then navigate to web server and then scroll down. Do you want to change the web server certificate? Click on yes on the user provided certificate, and now we just need to upload our files. Head back to the certificate collection window. Now select the format as individual cert files with a .pem extension zipped. Now let's open this up. I'm gonna extract the certificate files to my desktop. So I have the certificate files now. So we have the intermediate certificate in two parts. We have the root certificate, which I'm going to delete since we're going to not be needing it. This is the main certificate. Now what you need to do is club the intermediate certificate, the intermediate 0 and the intermediate 1.pem into one file. So you can just open it with VS Code or your preferred editing tool. This is the certificate. I am going to go to the last line and then open the second file. The second part of the intermediate certificate, just copy this and then paste it right here just after the end. So it should look something like this: begin, end, begin, and end. So now I'm going to save it, delete the second intermediate certificate, and let's call it, change the name of the file, main cert, and this is going to be intermediate, since both files are combined. And now we just need to copy and paste our private key, which was a text file. So open your private key, copy it, open your preferred text editor, and I'm going to create a new file. And then paste the private key, and then save it as the .pem extension. So I'm going to save it as private.key. Save it with the .key extension. Let's see what our server needs. So I'm going to save it with the .key extension. And that's it. Let's close this up. So we have our private key, our main certificate, and our intermediate certificate ready now. So let's upload the main certificate first, followed by the intermediate certificate, and finally the private key. Now click on Save Settings. The active profile default has been modified and saved. Press the button below to propagate the changes to the running server. So update running server. And now we have exited, so the changes will take effect and our SSL certificate should be installed. So log in again with your username and password to the OpenVPN admin portal. Go to web server again, under configuration. And you should see that our certificate is active. It has been installed by Sectigo and from this day to this day. So since this is a demo video, I'm using an SSL certificate with a 1-month expiry period, but this might be 1 year for you if you choose to purchase the Sectigo 1-year SSL or more. Now I can just type, I'm going to copy this address, or the client portal rather. Let me navigate to Edge and type in https://yourdomainname.com, port 943/client. And as you can see, our connection to the site is secure. We have successfully installed our SSL certificate on this website for both the admin service as well as the client server, since both share the same domain name. One other thing you can do is navigate to the SSL Trust website. Now I'm here on the SSL Trust website, and I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and go to SSL Install Check under Online Tools. Now this step is completely optional, but it is recommended to do so to check the strength and implementation of your SSL certificate. Now type in your domain name. You can perform the detailed check, which takes a bit longer, but I'm gonna do just a basic one. Alright, so we're done with the test, and you can click on View Report. And we are saving the latest protocol, so everything looks good. Certificate and server. These are the only two warnings, since I'm using a demo SSL certificate, which expires in less than 60 days. So you might not see this warning, and everything looks good. So you can do this test just to be sure that your SSL certificate is working correctly. So this was how to install an SSL certificate on your OpenVPN server, both client and admin as well. Now, there is a written guide in the very description of this video, which you can refer to for more clarity on this tutorial. If you liked this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you have any questions, please put it in the comments below. And you can always contact our sales and support team for all things SSL, and we will be happy to help you. And as always, thanks for watching.